2 units.
5 units.
30 units.
Over 200 units.
32 units.
Okay, so what the heck are those people talking about? Well, if you haven't already guessed the answer, it's blood. The same red stuff that's coursing through your body. The same stuff that literally saved those people's lives or allowed them to enjoy their lives more fully. The stuff that was and is given to them by people just like you and me. For those of you who have never thought about giving blood or been too afraid to, that's okay, you're not alone. But here are a few facts that might make you consider being a blood donor. First, there's no substitute for human blood. It cannot be manufactured, and it can only come from other humans. Second, about 4 million Americans need blood products each year. That means every 2 seconds, someone needs blood products. Third, you don't have to be a superhero or rescue someone from a burning building to save a life. All you need to do is give blood, because your donated blood can be used to make blood products like red blood cells, platelets, and plasma. So every 1 unit of your blood can potentially save 3 lives. So, just imagine if you could give blood regularly for, say, 10 years. Let's do the math. Ideally, a healthy person can give blood every 8 weeks. That's about 6 times a year times 10 years. That's 60 units of blood. And if each unit of blood can potentially save 3 lives, that's 180 lives you may have saved. How many superheroes can make that claim? Now, you might be thinking that if 1 unit of blood can do so much, then there must be plenty of blood products available. Unfortunately, this is not the case, since only 5% of eligible donors actually give. Because of this, our nation's blood supply is usually at a level where we don't even have 3 days' worth of blood available. That's why we need you. Well, now you might be wondering, if there's such a serious need for blood, why aren't more people giving? Well, I can tell you, it's the F word. That's right, fear.
I think it's really gonna hurt.
I really hate needles.
What about if I pass out?
What if I catch some disease?
It's just going to take too long.
I thought that movie was really awesome, didn't you?
It was pretty good. Hey, by the way, I'm recruiting donors for the blood drive. I was wondering if I could count on you for a unit.
You want me to give blood? Needles?
Ted, are you okay?
I really hate needles. It's gonna hurt.
No, it won't. It's just gonna pinch a little at first. You can take it.
But what if...
That's pretty unlikely. Just drink extra water or other fluids like juice, and eat a healthy meal, and you'll do just fine. And if you do feel a little woozy, just stay put until you feel ready to get up.
Okay, but what if the needle's dirty?
Ted, you cannot contract any disease from giving blood. Not AIDS, not hepatitis, not anything. Each donor gets a brand new sterile needle, and when you're done, it's thrown out.
But it'll take too long.
The whole process only takes about an hour, and the actual donated blood's only about 10 minutes.
Really?
If I can do this, so can you.
All right, I'll do it.
Thanks, buddy.
How frightening. Okay, so hopefully we've dispelled any fears or misconceptions you might have had about giving blood. But now you may wonder, where does my blood go after I donate, and who uses it? Time for a brief history lesson.
Spring 1940. Nazi Germany's army has overrun continental Europe.
In 1941, the American Red Cross initiated a blood services program to provide blood products to our soldiers fighting overseas in World War II. Thousands of Americans donated blood to the war effort. Donating blood became a normal part of life, and many people donated regularly even after the war. Over the years, the Red Cross continued to develop and refine the process of collecting, storing, and distributing blood products. Now the Red Cross is a leader in collecting, producing, and providing high-quality, affordable blood products, but the need for donations is even more critical. Advancements in medical technology have created new uses for blood products in addition to treating trauma patients. So where does your donated blood go? It goes to complete strangers, friends, family members, neighbors, people like those we saw in the beginning of this video, maybe even you.
The one common theme in trauma patients is that injury often results in blood loss. Trauma patients typically require anywhere from 4 to 40 units of blood, and sometimes up to 100 units of blood. Without blood transfusions, despite all medical efforts, many of these patients would die.
Well, after a normal, healthy pregnancy, we entered the hospital to have the baby, and shortly after he was delivered, the doctors think I experienced an amniotic fluid embolism. Amniotic fluid somehow enters the bloodstream, and in my case, it caused me to go into DIC, which basically means your blood thins and loses its ability to clot. I needed 32 units of blood that night. I woke up in the ICU the next morning because I'm very lucky to be here, and without those blood donors, I would not be here today.
Unexpectedly, I was told that I needed to have quadruple bypass surgery. I required 2 units of blood to save my life, and I'm very appreciative of that gift.
Pretty scary stuff, to say the least. But what would have happened if there hadn't been enough blood available for Linda and Sharon? Donated blood isn't just used in emergency situations. Doctors use platelets and plasma to help treat cancer patients and people with other illnesses or debilitating conditions.
I have 2 daughters, Ashley and Brianna. This is Brianna. She's 9 years old, and both of my daughters have sickle cell anemia, SS disease. They've had to have several blood transfusions. Total together, it's 5 or 6. We're lucky so far they haven't produced any antibodies. Had they produced antibodies, the closest match would probably be from an African American donor, which we rarely have enough African American donors because there's some stigma with donating. And if we could get everyone out there to donate, we would greatly appreciate it.
I became sick and needed a liver transplant, and having a surgery that is that serious, I required quite a bit of blood, approximately 30 units of blood. So I received blood from many different donors, and in that they did just as much of a job of saving my life as the person who donated the liver to me as well.
Brian and Monique are great examples of how new uses of your blood can help people have a better quality of life. But the answer to the question, who needs my blood, that hits closest to home, is one that can happen to any one of us when we least expect it.
I've had the opportunity to take care of thousands of injured patients, many of them in their teenage years. Our risk of being injured during our lifetime is about 1 in 30. So look around. There's a good chance that it's someone you know.
I fell asleep at the wheel, crashed my truck. It was a very bad accident. They were very surprised that I was alive. Once the EMTs got there, I was bleeding very badly. They started giving me blood right away. They med-flighted me to the emergency room where I was given enough blood to fill my body 4 times. And without that blood, I wouldn't be here. I'm very grateful to all blood donors.
Michael was in a coma for a week after the accident. Fortunately, because of the blood others had donated, he is alive and well today. So, now that you have an idea of what happens to your blood, how about we actually see what goes on when you donate it? First of all, to donate blood, you must be at least 17 years old, weigh at least 110 pounds, and be in good general health. The first thing that happens when a Red Cross staff member or nurse calls your name is you'll have to fill out a form and answer some questions to determine if you are a good donor candidate. After answering all of the questions, they review your questionnaire. You may not be eligible to give blood based on your recent medical history. But if you are able, the nurse will take your blood pressure, and if that checks out, we'll prick your finger to get a small blood sample to check your iron level. Don't worry, it's no big deal. If you're cleared, you'll be taken to this really comfortable chair where you lay back and relax while you give blood. Once you're hooked up, you'll have to squeeze a ball or tighten your fist every so often to speed up the blood flow. After about 10 minutes, you'll have a full unit, and they'll cover the spot where the needle was with a cotton ball or a Band-Aid. That's it, the hard part's over. Then, it's snack time. You'll hang out with your buds and have some juice and crackers or cookies to help you replenish your fluids and keep your energy up. That day, while you're drinking lots of water or juice to fill your body back up with fluid, your blood will be on its way to saving lives. And when you think about that, it's pretty cool.
There will always be a need for blood. There's always going to be a need to give that blood. And it's really important that we respond to that need.
I was given enough blood to fill my body 4 times.
Give life.
I give blood because I can help save lives right now.
Blood is a precious commodity. There's no substitute for your donation.
Give blood. I think that donating blood is just a really good thing to do. Because it's so easy and it requires so little from you. Yet you're potentially helping 3 people.
Well, I received blood from many different donors, and that they did just as much of a job of saving my life as the person who donated the liver.
Give life.